Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Anime One back with a new video. I'm saying I'm here with a new part of What If Naruto was neglected and was became a perfect human being. So if you guys like the content in the channel, please subscribe to the channel while you're at it. Also like this video. So without any delay, let's begin the video. Naruto looked at Jiraiya, who had told him his supposed goal. Naruto looked at the man, not interested. Naruto said in a ladder blunt and, well, completely honest tone. Jiraiya sighed. He should have expected at least that much. I guess there's it. But at least I tried, Jiraiya thought in his mind. Well, if that's the case, I hope you do find your own goal. But I just want you to keep the goal that I gave you in your mind, just in case you cannot find anything. You need something that you to work on. That's all," said Jiraiya as he sat beside Naruto. "So how about it? You want to train with me?" Jiraiya said as Naruto looked up at him. Well, if you could teach me how to, well, create gravity seals. Mom refuses to teach me since she says I'm too young to use it and stuff. I really don't get that, Naruto said. Jiraiya looked surprised. Gravity seals. Those are level 4 or 5, but why do you need those? To train, Naruto said as if it was the most obvious thing. Well, and also chakra suppression seals, not to completely suppress, but suppress my chakra up to some extent, Naruto said. Jiraiya looked at him again. Well, if you want to, I could, but you need to pass level 3 and 4 for that. If you really want to, well, get to those kind of seals. Naruto looked at the seal that he was doing. It will be no problem. We'll be here for 4 to 5 days more, he said. Jiraiya nodded. Naruto looked up at him. Be prepared tomorrow. I'll finish level 3 and 4 by today night, he said. Jiraiya looked at him as if the boy was crazy. You do know that these are sealing things that only Uzumaki, like a full-blooded, who have trained with sealing since they were 2 years old, have been able to master, since, they're kind of equipped to it. Naruto looked at him. I know, I'm an Uzumaki as well, but just believe me, I'll finish this today, he said, as he started going back to his work. Jiraiya just looked at the boy. Maybe, whatever. Fine then, I'll be waiting for you tomorrow right over here in the sofa. You can come to the sofa and then we can go to train you with your gravity and chakra suppression seals, Jiraiya said as Naruto gave him a nod, without looking at him as he was continuing his calligraphy. As that went on, Jiraiya went to Minato's office afterwards, as Minato was looking at Jiraiya. So, Sensei, have you come back with any information on Orochimaru? He said, and Jiraiya nodded. Yes, I came back with quite a bit of information. Orochimaru had joined an organization called the Akatsuki. They were a group of mercenaries that do shady and really dirty work. They have 100% success rate, and the reason for that is all the ninja that are working in that organization are S rank or even above, said Jiraiya. Minato's eyes widened. Why would you think S rank ninjas are working together? He said. Jiraiya just shook his head. I have no idea, but whatever it is, it's not something good. I have a suspect that it might be a nine-tailed fox demon, said Jiraiya. Minato looked at him, and that made sense. The nine-tailed fox is the greatest source of chakra in the entire planet, so they could be after that. But Minato spoke. And for that, they would have to go after Konoha as itself. There's no way that they will be able to get Menma and Korra when, I'm their father. Not to brag, but I'm probably the most strongest ninja in the planet right now, Minato said. Jiraiya gave him a nod. I did not disagree with you in that, Minato. But, well, That's something that I just don't know about. He said as Minato sighed. Fine. Well, you talk with Naruto, I heard, because you told me about it. What were you talking about? Well, your son is quite a bit of genius. Well, he's even above the standards of a genius, said Jiraiya as with a scratching back his head. Minato looked perplexed. What do you mean? He doesn't show any emotion, Minato, and I'm pretty sure you're concerned about that too. Minato sighed. That's my and Kushina's fault. When he was 1 to 2 years old, we didn't pay much attention to him. We blowed him off whenever he tried to learn something from us, and we didn't want to teach him. And this years we have realized how much we have done him wrong. He has not been shown any love since he was 1 or 2 years old, and because of that, well, you know, there's not much to show. To begin with, Miyato said, do I give a nod? Yeah, I guess that's your fault. But even that, you said you were trying to create a bond with the man who's 3, 4, and recently 5 years old. And still, yeah, that's what concerns me, Minato said. It is as if, like, someone has brainwashed him, or he has become accustomed to this, said Minato. Jiraiya narrowed his eyes. Do you think? Minato shook his head. No, Danzo, he is not that much of a fool to lay a hand on my son. But if that is the case, I will gather evidence and kill him myself. Minato said. Jiraiya just gulped at that. Minato was giving off the aura that he gave off when he killed those 1,000 shinobi in the Third Great Shinobi War. Minato would not let anyone harm his family. That was the kind of man he was. Jiraiya sighed. If that's what you wish, Minato. The next day, Jiraiya was sitting on the couch as he had promised Naruto. The boy would probably not come out, since, well, there's no way that he would master level 3 and 4 in just one night. But to his surprise, Naruto came out. And, well, he was with his calligraphy, and he was there with a book. I'm here. This is a level 5 shilling book due to that my mom had in the library. He said. Jiraiya just looked at the boy. What? He said, looking at the boy. I said that, Naruto just looked at Jiraiya. I said that I would come to you when I mastered level 3 and 4. I did it. So, teach me those seals. Jiraiya looked at the boy shocked. What? You mastered level 3 and 4? Then show me how to do this seal. Jiraiya said as he told Naruto to do some seals. Some related to level 3 and 4, the hardest ones, and Naruto did them flawlessly. Jiraiya looked at Naruto shocked. That's impossible! Jiraiya said that loudly that even Kushina heard. Jiraiya-sensei, what's wrong? Kushina, come here! He said, telling Kushina to come here. Kushina immediately washed her hands away as she was washing the dishes, and she came towards Jiraiya and Naruto. Your son mastered level 3 and 4 of seals in one fucking night, Jiraiya said. Kushina's eyes widened. What? Naruto, is that true? She said, looking at her son. He just gave her a nod. Yeah, it is the truth. Naruto said in a most nonchalant tone that it was obvious. Do you even understand what that means, kid? It is a feat that has never been achieved before. Not even grown men can master something like that in one night, Jiraiya said. Naruto just looked at him. Then that means I'm more smart than grown-up men, so that's that. Now really teach me, or should I ask someone else? Naruto said, as Jiraiya just looked at him. You don't care how much of a fucking genius you really are now, do you? He said. Naruto shook his head. No, I don't. He said. Jiraiya sighed. Fine then. He said, looking at Naruto. I'll teach it to you. But you'll not use the seals until you're 8 years of old. Do you get me? He said. Naruto looked at Jiraiya. Fine, he said as Jiraiya gave him a smile. Now that's good. What's going on? Kushina asked Jiraiya. Well, you see, I really didn't think that he would master level 3 and 4 level of ceiling in one night since, it's obvious. But since he did a miracle, I kinda promised him to teach him level 5 ceiling. Jiraiya, you do know that my son is just 5 years old, right? Teaching him level 5 ceiling, but ceiling actually kind of gets serious and is used for battles is kind of... Yeah, I know, but a promise is a promise, Kushina. Naruto, promise your mother that you won't use ceiling until you're 8 years of old. Jiraiya said as Naruto looked up at Kushina. And again, with his cold blue eyes and with the most expressionless face, Naruto said to his mom, Mom, I promise I won't use sealing jutsu of level 5 until I'm 5 years of old. Kushina's sweat dropped. That sounded like the most hollow promise I've ever heard, she thought in her mind. She sighed. Fine, but again, Naruto, you promised me, so obey it. Naruto gave her a nod. You have my word. He said as him and Jiraiya started walking outside. Doing this kind of sealing inside the home will kind of be bad because even a little bit, well, it'll kind of fuck up your house. Jiraiya said. Naruto gave him a nod. Are you ready then? And Jiraiya asked. Naruto gave him a nod. And soon the sealing began. Jiraiya taught Naruto everything that he could, and Naruto was surprised. He couldn't get it down in just a few tries. That was surprising to him. He actually had to work hard for this one. And working hard for Naruto, that meant a few hours, 4 or 5 hours in one series. Naruto wiped off all the sweat that was coming off his brow. Jiraiya looked surprised still. This boy, I've never seen something like this ever before. He thought looking at Naruto. Well, when he trained Minato, he saw that Minato caught on to doing things quick, and that was obvious that Minato was a genius, but Naruto, he was an abnormality. That this thing was just not normal, learning things so fast. Naruto looked up at Jiraiya. Okay, the first step is done. The next one, he said. Jiraiya just looked at the boy. That's enough for today. We'll continue the next step tomorrow. Is that alright with you? Naruto just looked at Jiraiya. I guess that's fine. He said as he started walking away. Jiraiya just looked at the boy. Still, no signs of any emotions. Jiraiya sighed. Well, I guess I'll give this report to Minato. Minato looked at Jiraiya with his jaw hanging on the ground. Level 3 and 4 in one night, he said. Jiraiya gave him a nod. I had the exact same look that you did right now. But I guess it is what it is. Jiraiya said. Sensei, this is not normal, Minato said, as Jiraiya just looked at him. I know, Minato, but, well, we have to accept reality. Naruto is not normal to begin with, he said as Minato sighed. He banged his head on the table. Fucking hell, Minato thought. And level 5 first step, he mastered it in 4 to 5 hours. You know, something that takes months. Minato said. Jiraiya scratched the back of his head. Yeah, he kind of did, he said. Minato just sighed. My hair is spinning, sir, Jiraiya-sensei. Minato put his hand on a cross seal as a clone poofed. Please do the paperwork for me right now. I have shit to think, Minato said as the clone just gave his boss a really, well, pitiful look. As Minato went to the couch and, well, started rubbing his temples. Shit, I have to start thinking, he thought. Time skip. A few years later, Naruto was now 8 years old, and as he promised his mom, he didn't use those seals unless he was 8 years old. So now today was the day when you would become 8 years old. And that meant today was his birthday. He, Menma, and Korra were standing in the Namikaze mansion with their parents, and Jiraiya was there as well, as they all looked at their parents. Today we're gonna throw you a party, said Kushina as you look at them. Naruto thought in his mind, as Menma and Kara cheered up. Yo, hell yeah! We're gonna have a party. It's gonna be so much fun, Kara, Menma said. Yeah, we're gonna have an amazing birthday, Menma, this year, she said as they both looked at Naruto. Hey, Naruto, at least show a little bit of excitement, you know? It's your birthday, he said as Naruto looked at Menma and Kara, again with his, well, emotionless eyes. He just raised his hand and just said, yeah, in the most pitiful tone. All of their sweat dropped, but that wasn't really excitement, they all thought. As they all looked at Naruto. Okay, if you don't want to show excitement, then who would you all like to invite? Minato and Kushina said. As Kara and Menma looked at each other. He doesn't have any friends, so I guess we're the ones who are gonna be inviting him. Our friends, said Menma, as Naruto gave them a nod. Yeah, what he says is true, so can I go to the training grounds? Naruto said. All this sword drop again. No, you're gonna stay here, Kushina said. Naruto sighed. Fine then. Go on with your errands and waste of time, said Naruto as they just looked at him. Kushina walked up to him and placed her hands on Naruto's shoulder. Naruto, honey, listen, your birthday is not a waste of time. This is the day you were born, that you were given to us. So it's a special day, okay? She said as Naruto gave her a nod. He didn't want to have an argument with her. If he said that when others are born, why don't they celebrate birthday? It would just not make sense to her of his logic. So he just agreed with whatever she said. She clapped her hands. Okay then. Just write down the people that you want to invite in this piece of paper and then we'll do the rest. She said as, well, Menma and Kara wrote down whoever they wanted to invite. As it was the night time and all the people were there. Especially the one that was there, the Menma was looking forward to was Hinata Hyuga, the girl he had a crush on. And Hinata was also sort of into Menma. And there was one girl that Naruto didn't want to meet. That was coming, literally walking right towards him. Hey, Deadeye boy, she said. Naruto looked at her. What do you want, Samantha? Naruto said, again in a completely nonchalant tone. Samantha, a white-haired girl, just looked at Naruto as he got a tick mark on her forehead. Just shut up, okay? She said as she bonked Naruto on the head. At least she tried to. Naruto moved out of the way. As she looked at Naruto. Hey, let me bonk you on the head. I have no obligation to let you bonk me on my head. Not whatsoever. Naruto said as she just sighed. Fine then. She sat down beside him. So, what are you gonna do now? She said as Naruto looked at her. What do I plan to do, you ask? He looked up at the sky. I don't know. The academy is gonna be starting in a few days, so probably gonna go there and just well, graduate, become a ninja, then become a elite Jonin, marry someone, have kids. Yeah, that would be the ideal life. Naruto said as well, she got a sword drop on the back of her head. You are not really that much of an ambition, do you? I really don't know what I want to do, said Naruto. As he ate a little bit of whatever there was in his plate. Ah, you don't, she said. I guess you and I are somewhat the same, she said. Naruto looked at her. You are also known as the prodigy of the Uchihas, the biggest prodigy after Itachi. Is that correct? Naruto said, as he just looked down with a rather sad look. Yeah, people just look at me as if, I'm some kind of. They have so much expectations of me that I don't know if I can live up to them. Just like you, I don't know what I want in my life. Maybe I want to be the strongest Uchiha, or maybe I want to surpass Itachi. But truly, I don't know what I want. Those are the things that people expect of me, not what I expect of myself. Naruto just looked at her. I really do see. I pity you, said Naruto. She got a tick mark on her forehead. Whenever you say it, at least put some emotions into it. Sorry, but I failed to realize those so-called emotions that other people speak of. She looked at him. You, you don't feel anything? He just shook his head. Maybe I do, but I simply don't realize if I feel anything. I just don't want those emotion things to be a burden to me. I think personally it's a waste of time. It'll hold me back, said Naruto. As well, Samantha just looked at him. As he sighed, well, if that's how you see things. Step forward with him as he was face to face with him, trying to make him blush or anything, but Naruto was just cold like a stone. And she was the one who was blushing instead. Damn it, she thought in her mind. Not even blushing a bit. She thought again as Naruto looked at her. What are you trying to do? Naruto asked as Samantha just stepped back. Fine, go ahead. Fine, I'll give up, she said as she stepped down. Others are celebrating and you're just sitting there. Well, I'll just open the gifts after the party's over. She got a strip up in the back of her head. Yeah, gifts, that's all we care about, don't you? Naruto nodded. Yes, I don't like to ask my parents for family stuff. And because of that, since the academy is going to be starting in a few days, in the gifts you're probably going to get an academy accessory. So that's good. I won't have to ask my parents for anything. You don't like to ask them. They are your parents, they're here to help you. He said Naruto shook his head. I don't know why, but I just don't. I wanna be independent as quick as possible. As soon as I'm a Genin, I'll probably find a millionaire. Naruto said I should look at him. Oh, that's the rather unique way, she thought. As there was only one more people that he knew that moved out of his house when he was 12 years old, and that was Shisui. That was because, his mother had died, and his father was not the best of the fathers, and that was the reason why Shisui had moved out. But she wasn't that kind of person. She liked her mother, Mikoto, and her brother, Sasuke, and also her brother, Itachi, so she wouldn't think anything of it. She stood up as she went back to the party, glancing back at Naruto. She sighed. Didn't get anything out of him today, too, she thought. Naruto the side glanced at her. If I make her trust me somehow, she'll be a useful pawn. She's probably to take over the Uchihas in the future. And he looked over to Hinata. She's the hero of the Hyuga clan. I have to get her to ally with me somehow, and make her a effective pawn. Then he looked at the Nora. Same goes for the other heroes of the clan. The Nora might not be foolish enough to fall for it, but the others, without looking at the other clan heads, well, clan years that were there, they're gonna be useful. Naruto thought as he looked at the others. As soon as that happened, there was an announcement going on. Everyone, since, well, things have turned out, and thank you for coming to this party. Naruto was the one who was speaking. I would like to announce, well, the ears of our clan. Naruto, who's our eldest son, has completely refused to become the heir of both the Uchiha, both the Namikaze and the Uzumaki clan. So for that reason, Menma will take over the Namikaze, and Kara will take over the Uzumaki clan, said Minato, as Naruto looked at his father. Well, that is what I seek, said Naruto. Thought Naruto as he looked at Menma. He has 9 tails inside of him. Probably the young part, the negative one. That's the one I seek. Naruto thought, as his hand or his finger was glowing with a little bit of purple aura. That's the one I seek. Naruto thought again. In a time skip, a few days later, Naruto was walking to the academy with his brothers and with his brother and sister. As people were glancing and well, greeting them all, and then Menma and Kara were greeting back others, and Naruto was just well, not responsive. He was just walking ahead. Hey, Naruto, Menma said, nudging Naruto on the arm. You should greet back others. That's bad manners. That's what Mom said. Don't you remember? Naruto just looked at him. Oh, the others were greeting me? Sorry, I thought they were greeting you both, he said as Menma and Kara sweat drop. Oh, no, they're greeting us all three. Now another one greeted Naruto, Menma, and Kara. This time Naruto greeted him back. See? Now that wasn't so hard, said Kara looking at Naruto. Naruto just side glanced at her. I guess, he said. Aren't you nervous at all? You know, it's our first day of the academy. Naruto just looked at Menma. I guess I am a little nervous, Naruto said. Menma and Kara's eyes watered. What? You're nervous? They both said, looking at Naruto. Naruto just looked at him. Forget it, I'm not nervous, he said, as they both pouted. Come on, brother. We're your family. Be more open with us. There's nothing to be open about. Whatever I say to you, I've just done. It's as simple as that. Naruto said. I started walking a little faster. They both chased after him. He was peculiar, but they still loved him. He was their elder brother. Once they arrived at the academy, they were assigned their respective classes, and as they entered, all three of them were at the same section. And surprisingly, this was the class of all the clan heads. To be surprising, Naruto just looked at the class. Yes, this will do. This is perfect, he thought, looking at all of them. Then he saw Samantha. He thought, looking at Samantha, then walking towards her. Can I sit next to you? Naruto asked, as she just looked at him. Oh, you really don't have to ask. Sure, she said. Naruto did as he was told as he sat beside her. Menma sat beside Hinata, and Kara sat beside Sakura and Nina. Those were best friends, outside of Hinata, of course. But she didn't want to be, sort of like a middle finger between Hinata and Menma, so she sort of stepped out. Then the teacher entered. His name was Irika Imino, from what Naruto had heard. So everyone, well, I'm gonna be your teacher for this last 4 years of the academy. My name is Irika Marino. I hope I can be a good teacher to you all. So today we're gonna start with self-introductions. Is that fine with you all? Yes, as all of them nodded. As the introductions went on, and it was finally Samantha's turn. My name is Samantha Uchiha. I am the daughter of Fugaku Uchiha and Mikoto Uchiha. My brother are Itachi Uchiha and Sasuke Uchiha. And my goals are to become the best of my clan, she said as he sat down. And the next was Naruto. My name is Naruto Namikaze. My likes, well, I don't have many. And well, I hope I get along with you all, he said as he sat down. All of them started up. All he said was his name, they all thought. And then it was Sasuke's turn. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I like my family and my family and training. And well, I hope I get along with everyone in the class, he said as he sat down. All the girls were having stars in their eyes as they were looking at Sasuke. As Menma's turn was next. My name is Menma Namikaze. And the things I like are my family, ramen, and many others, and I hope I get along with everyone. Next was Korra and the other clan heads. Soon the classes started. As the classes started, Naruto was a little intrigued. I've already learned all of this. Naruto thought as what the teacher was teaching. He already knew all of this. The history of Konoha. Danzo had made sure to drill everything into him. So that was that. Naruto just looked away. This is gonna be so boring, he thought, as he looked at Samantha as he poked her. What? The teacher's teaching. I'll teach it to you later. What do you know about the Uchiha clan? Can you tell me a little bit about the Sharingan, and is there any other stage beyond the normal Sharingan that every Uchiha has? She looked at him surprised. Why are you so curious about the Sharingan? No, well, he looked at her. Nothing. I'm just curious. It's a thought that popped in my mind. She got into thinking position. I'm not sure if there's a level above, but if there is, probably the one who has it as my father. And I'm not sure even if he has it, she said, as Naruto just looked at her. This was completely useless, he thought in his mind, as again he started focusing on the teacher's lecture. He wouldn't get bored because, well, he was having different thoughts in his head. If the teacher asked him something, he would just simply answer the questions. Next class was the sparring class and kunai and shuriken throwing and all that stuff. Once that happened, Naruto went on to throw the kunai and shuriken. Well, who could have gotten all bullseyes, but he just got an average score. Same came for the next written test and sparring matches. Sparring matches, Naruto was paired up against Kiba, and when Naruto sort of didn't want to lose to that kind of boy, so he beat Kiba down pretty easily. And that was the next life of Naruto for the next 4 years. Well, pretty much doing time pass is what Naruto thought. But where Naruto and others were doing time pass? For Naruto, it was the chance of getting close to all the clan heroes. He needed influence in Konoha. He was not a clan hero anymore, because that was a part of his plan. He didn't need to be a clan hero in order to, well, do what you needed to. If you're a clan hero, you are sort of bounded by the village rules and regulations. But if you are not, you're not bounded by the rules and regulations of the school. There was one thing in particular that Naruto was not particularly fond of, and that was, well, the joy of visiting him almost every month. It was like the Asani had taken a liking to him. And today was one of those days. Jiraiya was sitting with Naruto in the edge of a pond. Well, how was academy today? Boring as usual, Naruto said. Jiraiya chuckled a little bit. I guess it's to be expected for someone like you. How much of a level of gravity skills are you using right now? Naruto threw another stone, and he lied. Level 2. Jiraiya looked at Naruto. Ah, that's impressive. Jiraiya thought in his mind. I was expecting to hear level 5 or some crazy shit like that. Jiraiya thought deep down in his mind. Again, level 2 was also impressive, but, well, it was Naruto, so you couldn't, well, standards were pretty high. But I guess that's good, Jiraiya thought. But in reality, Naruto really had level 5 gravity seals on him. And chakra suppression seal, how much level do you have that? Well, Naruto just looked at Jiraiya and pointed at 3 fingers. Level 3. Ah, level 3. What, level 3? Jiraiya said looking at Naruto. Naruto nodded. Yes, level 3. My chakra reserves, well, I just want it to be a Genin level at the best. You do know that right now, if you release all that chakra, you have a high Chunin level chakra. Jiraiya said. Naruto gave him a nod. I'm very well aware of that, but I am an Uzumaki. Men might meet Kara have more chakra than I ever could, so that's that. But you do know that they have the 9 cells inside of them. Jiraiya didn't need to hide it. He knew that the boy knew that his siblings were the Jinchuriki of the QB. So it was something that Jiraiya was, well, planning on hiding anyways. Yeah, I do know that, but, well, we are Uzumaki, so we are expected to have a little high chakra. Jiraiya decide, well then, if you really have that much chakra, how about I teach you jutsu? Jiraiya said. Naruto looked at him curious. You're gonna teach me a jutsu? Jiraiya nodded. Yes, I'm gonna teach you a jutsu, Naruto. Why don't you come here? He said as he walked towards they started walking away. As they did, Jiraiya slammed his hand on the ground and went through hand signs. And slammed his hand on the ground. In a spoof of smoke, a toad appeared. That's called a summoning jutsu. I was thinking of giving it to Menma or Korra, but I want to give it to you. I want you to be my successor, Jiraiya said with a toothy grin. Ah, I'm sorry, Jiraiya. I'm afraid that I already have a summoning contract. Jiraiya just looked at Naruto in shock. You already have one, he said. Naruto gave him a nod. But how? He asked. Well, you see, I saw about the summoning jutsu in a scroll that I was reading. I was curious, so I went through random 9 signs that were in the scroll and slammed my hand on the ground. And then, out of nowhere, in a poof of smoke, I was gone and appeared in this weird place where there were bats all around. And now I have the bat summoning contract. Naruto said as Jiraiya just looked at him. The bat summoning contract? Seriously? He said. Naruto gave him a nod. If you don't believe me, then Naruto went through hand sign. Summoning jutsu, Naruto said. He just slammed his hand on the ground. In a purple spoof of smoke, there was a bat. A medium-sized bat, almost the same size as Jiraiya's toad, as he was flying and had Naruto on his back. See, I told ya. And he said, as the bat looked up at Naruto. Naruto-sama, why'd you to call me? Well, this fool was not believing that I had the bat summoning contract, so I had to do something about it. Naruto said as the bat just looked at him. Oh, since now you believe him, I'll be taking my leave, Naruto-sama. The bat said as Naruto gave him a nod in a purple poof of smoke, the bat was gone. Jiraiya just looked at Naruto. That was kind of cool, he said. Naruto gave him a nod. I said that. It's better than the toads. And Jiraiya shook his head on that. No, it was not better than the toads. I refuse to accept that. Jiraiya said. Naruto sighed. Do what you want. Is there any other technique that you can teach me? He said as well. Jiraiya just looked at him. Ah, since I guess you're already at a gaining level of strength, might as well teach you this. He said as jumping down and took out paper out of his, pouch. Well, these are chocolate paper, Naruto said. Jiraiya blinked at that. You knew? Naruto gave him a nod. Yeah, I read about them in the scroll. So these are supposed to tell you about your chakra nature. I have never done so. He said as Jiraiya smiled. Good. Now, try it, he said as he gave it to Naruto. Naruto nodded as he started applying chakra to the paper. And soon the paper split in half. One side turned into ashes and the other turned shrunk down. Three chakra natures, Jiraiya thought. Naruto didn't surprise him at this point anymore. Yes, having all five chakra natures would only be the thing that surprised Jiraiya at this point about Naruto. Three chakra natures, huh? Wind seems to be your main chakra affinity, and your others are water and lightning. Those are some good ones. And Jiraiya said. Naruto gave him a nod. Since wind is the main affinity, instead of going with lightning, it can go well along with water. And yeah, he said. Jiraiya just looked at Naruto. So how about it? I also have a fairly good wind affinity, so I'll teach it to ya. He said. Naruto gave him a nod. Looking forward to it, Sensei. Naruto said boringly. Now, you don't have to be so formal. I'm your godfather after all. So let's start your training, Naruto, Jiraiya said, as Naruto gave him a nod. Meanwhile, Menma and Korra were being brutally trained by Minato. Get up, that's not enough, Minato said, as he looked at both of his son and daughter. You're already 11 years old. Next year, you're going to be graduating from the academy. And right now, you're nowhere near tuning level. I want you to be at that level at least, you know? Minato said as he looked at them. They both gave him a nod, as they both sprinted into action again.